The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hanson. Thank you for joining me. It's 2023. I'm here with Mayor Julie Bruhn. Thanks, Julie, for joining me. You know, Vergas has got a lot going on. Anytime as a community club president, I keep hearing from a lot of people, how do you keep it going in Vergas, or how do you keep this happening? And I think you and I both know it doesn't just happen. There's a lot of things behind it. And so I wanted to bring you on it today. I know that we just filmed or just aired again the 2022 Vergas address that you had given and some of the things that were highlighted in that. And maybe let's talk about where we're at from that and where you see Vergas going, because I know the new comprehensive plan is all about focusing on the future.
You know, last year we talked about the need, for plans, and so this year Vergas did the endeavor, and it was pretty rigorous to complete a comprehensive plan. It entailed multiple focus groups, listening sessions, a survey, so we really got a good grasp of what people were wanting.
What were some of the things that you did? I know that one of them was like you tried getting the teens together for...
Well, we did an ice skating thing. We tried to incorporate ourselves into Looney Days, Maple Fest, where we could get feedback. We had purposeful sit-down sessions. We had a big session here at the event center on every topic and just had people move through. You know, we had that big survey that went out to everyone to give us broad feedback. And so it was no one thing. It was multiple venues to try and elicit input so that we knew the plan was a shared vision.
Were you satisfied with the survey results of
yes,
what came back
was.
in? Because
yes.
I think I had heard that a lot of people had filled them out and they looked at it as their opportunity.
Yes, and their feedback was really valued, and if there was some nuance, we kind of incorporated it into the next focus to get a little more depth on that theme. So it's a great
it's a great tool. But so what came out of it?
We have our full plan, and it's going to be the city's guiding document as we do planning, as we do priorities, and as we do budget. It's going to be what tells us what we need to be doing to the year 2036.
I know.
So it's out in the distance. So everything doesn't happen overnight, but we are going to be very purposeful that we take the city where the people want the city to go.
When you have a document like that and have spent that much time and gotten that much input, how wonderful it is to go back to that and it's like, oh hey, I remember that these people were looking at that, because otherwise you're just kind of all out there. And
that's what the council realized. It was you were always reacting because there wasn't anything laid out to truly tell us what people wanted, what people were wanting. And I would note this plan is on the city website and is available.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's available to everyone. It's like 42 pages, but a wealth of information.
Okay.
And so we continue to welcome any feedback, because we'll continue to look at this each year and to note what we've accomplished.
Sure.
And then what's the next step.
It's good to see what you've accomplished. Can you do some updating on it?
Yes, we will. We'll probably kind of incorporate some different writing, or maybe we'll have another year, year 2024, and note. And it will kind of become part of the mayor annual address so that we don't lose sight.
Yeah, it's so important.
It's important, and we want people to know that their input was important to us.
And that you're listening.
We are listening.
You're listening.
Yeah.
So by listening, what was it that came out of this that were you surprised, first of all, by anything?
I think perhaps some weren't surprises and some were.
Okay. Sure.
I think the overarching theme was the physical development of the city, and that's always been, where do you develop? How do you develop? We're pretty landlocked, so that wasn't a surprise. Parking wasn't a surprise at all. So we had three major needs that came out: was parking, housing, and business development and support. And so I think the business component came out real loud and clear, which was great. We know Vergas it has a constant demand for housing. And it was affordable housing, single family housing, and kind of real unique was housing for the elderly so they can transition in place. They don't have to move away because we don't have the right housing for them. You know, so that was kind of a unique need. But, you know, the parking, I think the business community noted how much it impacts them. They feel that it discourages business.
It does. Yeah.
You come through town, you can't park.
Right.
So they felt like, you know,
well, maybe try another day, but then that another day might be you go to a different town.
Right. And those with mobility limitations, it's hard. And there was just some real safety risks when you just kind of, people will try and park no matter what.
Right.
And so, you know, it really brought those to light. And, you know, we've done some things. We've created diagonal parking on First Avenue or First Street, and we've also will be acquiring the Otter Tail County building, and that will become a parking lot this year as when we acquire it. So those are good things. Housing, we've reviewed and approved 2 housing developments in the city, and we recently had the Altona Square commercial building open that has rental on the upper level. So you know, so good things happen there for the business community. You know, loud and clear is they want to keep the downtown charm and character of Vergas. They don't want big box stores. People want to be in the downtown area as new businesses come in. So really looking at some physical growth options for the community that we can kind of, is there the ability to expand in certain areas. And they also kind of spoke to rental would probably bring more business in than you actually have to purchase. And, and we kind of saw that with the Altona Square building, where we could bring in three businesses that they could rent and not necessarily have to own, because that's a big leap of faith.
That is a big leap of faith. To
take on a new business and take on owning the building and the expense of that. So
thankfully we have young entrepreneurs that are invested in our community and saw that also, because we wouldn't have a grocery store otherwise.
No, and you know how long we worked on trying to get a grocery store to Vergas.
And we love being able to have that grocery in town, and so that's awesome. Good. I also know that the comprehensive plan did touch on and talk, because I'm being on the park board, active lifestyle.
That was another thing that came out, was having active living options for all age groups.
All ages.
All age groups. And you know, sometimes I think we think of the youth, but Vergas is very much a retirement community. A lot of our population is 55 and older, a good portion of it. So, so it was all age groups. So parks, recreation, and the arts.
The arts
came out, you know, and our park
loud
board,
and clear.
our park advisory board has been very active working with NDSU, their architecture and landscape department, to create future concepts for Long Lake Park, which is very exciting.
You know, we have that beautiful natural resource down there, and I think the park board recognized that we need to expand on that. Not expand so much on it, but just to be able to preserve it, and continue to make it accessible.
It's a focal point of Vergas, the lake area, and the trail. You know, the trail was done and highly used. Really, people park kind of by town and
that was the hope
whole
for
area
it when it first began.
You know, and so we also just recently acquired a grant, and we will be working with Partnership for Health to have a multi kind of use path from Vergas with either the Heartland of the Lakes Trail or the Heartland Trail. So that's pretty exciting to get linked in on that trail.
A lot of
you know,
people are
Pelican,
excited about
Frazee, you know, Maplewood Park. It's a great thing for Vergas to get kind of have a plan and look, can we become part of that? And we also recently had a group formed to look at the arts, and they've done some things with performing arts, and so it's performing as well as visual. So we're excited that that group is kind of taking Vergas in that arts avenue. And then we got fitness center and pickleball courts this year. So you know, it's exciting to see that we are getting some active living components.
We are
in town.
You know, Julie, I appreciate, I mean, we only got a few minutes here to be able to talk about that, but there's so many opportunities for people to get involved in that too. And I'm just really excited that the city is taking seriously that comprehensive plan. And it looks like things are going to be good in 23 all the way to 2036, right?
Yeah, well, and one of the questions in the comprehensive plan was how would you see yourself, you know, giving back money or volunteering? Like 75% of people said volunteering was something that they were interested. Yeah, exactly. So, and I do think we see it when we call for help. And the community club, people come.
Yeah, they love to be able to be, because they want to be part of it.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you for explaining some of this and sharing the vision, and we appreciate you and all that you do too. So
yeah,
thank
we're
you, Mayor
very
Bruhn.
excited for Vergas in the future and the vision that's been created by the residents.
All right, you have a good day in Vergas.